place to stop shouting choir. Thank you so much for that reminder of all those actions in parks and all those marches off to the tombs. And every time we ever did anything ever since the winter of '99 and 2000, the Indy was always nearby. Kind of the way John's back there right now. It's over there. We always had the knowledge that we had something besides just a website, something besides something pixelated. We had a real newspaper lurking. And after the Gothamist, after the Voice, after so many real paper newspapers had to go away, the Indy was always there for activists to have that continuity to go forward. We knew we would be witnessed. Somebody have a witness here? Somebody give me a witness here. Oh yeah, we got a witness. We got the independent. We got the independent witness in us. Amen. Oh, we're honored to be here tonight.
Until the philosophy which holds one race superior and another inferior is finally and permanently discredited and abandoned. Everywhere is war. Except war. Until there's no longer first class and second class citizens of any nation. Until the color of a man's skin is of no more significance than the color of his eyes. Mr. War. Until the basic human rights are equally guaranteed to all without regard to race. There's a war. That until that day, the dream of lasting peace for citizenship, rule of international morality will remain but a fleeting illusion to be pursued but never attained. Now everywhere is war. Is there war? War in the east, war in the east, war in the west, war in the west, war up north, war down south, war,
Oh yeah.
rumors of a war.
Come on now.
War in the east, war in the east, war in the west, war in the west, war up north, war down south, war. Rumors of a war. Tell them what one Selassie.
የአንዱን ዘር ከሌላኛው አስበልጦ የሌላኛውን የሚያሳንሰው ፍልስፍና ከዚህ ዓለም ለአንዴና ለመጨረሻ ጊዜ እስካልተወገደ ድረስ ዛሬም ነገም ከነገ ወዲያም ጦርነት ይኖራል። ጦርነት ከሰሜን፣ ጦርነት ከደቡብ፣ ጦርነት ከምዕራብ፣ ጦርነት ከምስራቅ፣ ጦርነት ከሰሜን፣ ጦርነት ከደቡብ፣ ጦርነት ከምዕራብ፣ ጦርነት ከምስራት ድል የሕዝብ ነው። ልጆች ሂዱ ችለ
del modelo neoliberal fue la gota que rebalsó el vaso, el alza del peaje del metro. Fue esa gota, pero hace mucho rato que se está acumulando. Así que vamos a cantar una canción de Inti Illimani en libertad.
Quisiera tener alas para volar, quisiera tener alas para volar, quisiera tener alas para volar, cruzar por el espacio en libertad, cruzar por el espacio en libertad. Caminos sin fronteras quisiera ser, caminos sin fronteras quisiera ser, caminos sin fronteras quisiera ser, sin prisa ni motivo para volver, sin prisa ni motivo para un beso cada día al despertar, un beso cada día al despertar, un beso cada día al despertar, de labios que te dejen en libertad, de labios que te dejen en libertad.
Praise be. Thank you, Francisco, and all of you.
Give us the word, Billy. Bring us the word
Go out
tonight.
there and sing, because they're not like half of them aren't even. Go out there and sing. Yeah.
All right. Do something here.
Hey, all, we can't even hear ourselves perform.
This is
We literally cannot hear ourselves performing. I'm sorry, I'm not being rude, but we cannot hear ourselves.
This is the bar that I
know,
want
it's
to drink in. This is where I want to drink, right here with you. Amen. The Thrill to It song talks about the physical pleasure, the pleasure that you feel at that weightless moment when you commit to the activism, when you trespass, when you cross a line. You're with your fellow activists. In some sense, you're holding hands, perhaps literally, but you're trading glances. You might be chanting together. There's a way that you're together. And you do the thing that the entrenched power spokesperson will say is, Well, on a line from annoying and obnoxious, follow that line all the way over to terrorism. The entire spectrum of disapproval, which we keep hearing in the courts and in the Murdoch papers. But we do have here in our city continuous tradition of activism in which we cross that line. And part of the journalism that we have on the walls here, and we have so many of the writers here, and the writers have been directed to flirt with the people that have discretionary money. We have, with this witnessing, a kind of safety. That risk will always be taken, it must be taken. It's the thing that turns heads and makes it possible for us to declare radical meaning in this time when culture has said, in no uncertain terms, that is illegal. And has very forceful technologies for erasing radical meaning. But we have, with a continuous witness, a kind of safety. And one of the fellow activists that is looking us in the eye as we cross that line. We've done this together many times, haven't we?
Yes, we have.
I hope I've shared that moment with the people here who sing together, and we made that song Thrill to It from our common experience. I think Nehemiah and Savitri are the principal composers. But I wish to thank the staff, the editors, and the supporters of The Indypendent for being with us in that real way, at that moment of pleasure, at that moment of risk, at that moment when we don't know whether we're going to the tombs or not. Yesterday we performed in 3 Chase banks. Chase is one of the. I think you could say that Chase is the retail banker. Of course, it's also an investment bank, but it has all of these chain stores, 2,200 of them in the 5 boroughs, and that gives us a chance to perform in many, many places.
So many opportunities.
Oh, thank you.
Yesterday we met at the Black Cube on Astor Place, and we went to that Chase right there, which we victimized from our shows at Joe's. And then the one that's kitty corner from St. Mark's Church, that used to be the 2nd Avenue Deli. And then the one that's up near Grace Church on Broadway. So we had a little bit of a triangle there, going from one to the next. The thing that we did was, first of all, we came in breaking into public space. We came into those, I was going to say churches, into those banks. The way that we came into this church, breaking into public space, because the air in the banks is as thick as a brick and twice as toxic. And the workers that have to spend all day there, it's just really... They look ill, and they sometimes act that way. But the absence of any complication, whatever, the absence of any communication that isn't directly coming from Jamie Dimon, from the computers, from investment policies. There might be 1 or 2 actors smiling on the wall with checkbooks, but almost no relief. In other words, it's not an ecosystem. It's not a love affair. It's not really, it doesn't have the mystery of great writing. It has nothing with which to converse except the people who must stick to their 5 or 6 lines that they have for you as you enter their partitions. We came in singing, Earth Riot, Climate Riot, here we come, here we come. Earth Riot, Climate Riot, here we come. And then we were right into a statistic. There were about 15 of us. And the statistic went like this. The last time that carbon dioxide climbed up to these levels, 95% of life disappeared. Is that a good investment for JP Morgan Chase? And then we repeated that again.
Say it again. Say
And
it again.
Carbon dioxide climbed up to these levels,
95% of
life disappeared. Is that a good investment for JP Morgan Chase?
Somebody can
The last time carbon dioxide climbed up to these levels, 95% of life disappeared. Is that a good investment for JP Morgan Chase? Last time carbon dioxide climbed up to these levels, 95% of all life disappeared. Is that a good
investment for JP Morgan Chase?
Amen. And then we drifted off. The 15 of us drifted off into the various parts of the bank, talking to everybody there. And a surprising number of the people in Chase just have feel tremendous relief. We're comic enough, wacky enough. They feel safe with us because we're so off the wall. But they also feel safe with us because we're saying something that's on their mind. They all have pictures of their children on their desks. Amen? And we mentioned to them that Chase is the top retail bank in the world, financing fossil fuel projects. I think BlackRock is big, and one of the Chinese banks is big, but in American retail banks, it's the biggest. A lot of them don't know that. A lot of them have no idea what Jamie Dimon is doing. And then we went and gathered again at the end of our stay. We gathered again. And we took out our books. And we started reading Rachel Carson. We started reading Inuit shaman women, Henry David Thoreau, Wangarli Maathai, Bernard Sars, Victor Jar. We started reading the ancestors, Arundhati Roy. And it was at that point, I think because we went through the steps of breaking up the space and cultivating the air enough, we started reading the words of the ancestors about the earth, and the people, some of the people from the bank came up to our circle and stood there with us. How will we be radicals now? Now that we know we have just a few months or years, now that we know that fascism is establishing itself everywhere, and now that we know we have these skyscrapers in the middle of town that are as abusive, as murderous as the old castles in Transylvania, except this is supposed to be a democracy, and they have that glass, that fuck you Los Angeles sunglasses glass that just reflects us back at ourselves and does a trick with our curiosity, a trick with our interest in knowing what they're doing with our money as they corrupt our government and corrupt our culture and corrupt us. How will we be radicals now? We must find that thrill. We must find the people that are doing it with us, the independents, that are going across that line with us. And then we have to have that weightlessness, have that sex, have that that beyond the ego, have that moment when we're out of time, have that moment when that continuity of our love of each other makes it possible for us to be so radical that we have a kind of courage that even we don't recognize yet. We're out beyond the silent E at the end of the word change. We're not a part of our strategy tactic anymore. We're crazy. We're making new culture. We're doing the things that people did back in the day that we remember and we call them great. Now it's us. Now it's us. We're making new culture. We're so new. We're so new. We don't have the words yet. Oh! We have to be New York activists again. Somebody give me a Hallelujah! Hallelujah! Oh, yeah. Yeah, make up your religion that doesn't have a patriarch. Make up your religion that has an ecosystem, that has an orgasm, that has something that comes in and talks to you, and you can talk back and have that conversation. And then fly. Earthaluia, we're so glad we arrived here at the 250th issue. Give this community the power. May they have another 250 issues. May the earth live long enough to have 500 issues, 1,000 issues. Amen? John Tarleton, come out here. It's time to get the microphone to John Tarleton. All right.
Thank you, Billy. It's great to be here tonight with you and all the choir. It's awesome. I called Billy about a month and a half ago and said we really want to do something big, exciting for our 250th issue. And Billy and Savitri were willing to rework their whole schedule. I think they had other dates planned out of state at this time. And they were like, we want to be here with you. And so we're so thrilled that this has happened tonight. And you guys are amazing in the way you're always in solidarity, not only with us, but with so many movements and activists around New York City and across the country and the world. So everybody, please give these guys a big hand. Also, we have a sampling of our 250 issues on the wall here. That's a journey from the fall of 2000 when this paper started on to the present time. I encourage people to give it a look tonight. There's a lot of interesting history there. But also, it's important to realize that what you see here is the work of so many hands, of so many people. There's literally been many hundreds and hundreds of people who participated in the Independent at one time or another, including dozens of people who really, for years at a time, have really committed to themselves and done amazing work. So I want to give a quick shout out to some of the people here in the room who are currently working on the paper or worked in the past, including my amazing colleague Peter Rue back at the Dean Patterson, wherever he is. He's Ellen Davidson right here. We have Anna Gold and Sam Alcock. Alina Moglianskaya, a.k.a. Red Star. And Alex Ellison, our super intern from back in the day. Also, a special shout out to my dear friend Donald Hanna. Donald, in the trench coat over here. Donald started as a journalist at the New York Times in 1944, 2 weeks after D-Day. 17 years old. He covered the opening of the United Nations here in New York, 1945, 46. And he had a falling out with his higher-ups at the New York Times around 1947 when he told them that the UN wasn't going to work out because the U.S. was screwing with everything and had no interest in world peace. They were more interested in world domination. Well, Donald went on to have a long and winding journalism career with many publications, and he ended up at The Indypendent after 9/11. 74 years old, you got this room full of scruffy young radicals, and Donald comes in and says, I want to work with you guys. We're like, right on. And Donald was at the United Nations practically every day in the run-up to the Iraq War, and everything he wrote about what was going on there turned out to be the truth, including when Colin Powell went up and told all those lies. Donald came back to the office that evening, and it's like, that was a pack of lies, and the corporate media said the exact opposite. So Donald, thank you for... I talk to Donald at least once every month, and he's still a fount of insight and inspiration when we talk about each issue of the paper. So again, Donald, 92 years old, his mind is still clear as a bell, and you're amazing, and thank you for joining us tonight. So, is there anybody else I've left out here? I know we got Valerio Siriaci, amazing videographer. Oh, Frank Pernoso here? Right on. Wherever he is, Frank Pernoso is our art director. All these amazing illustrations you see on the wall, that's Frank and his team of illustrators have done that. Robert Quinta right here, he's one of those illustrators. So we've been fortunate for all these years to have this amazing team of people. It changes over time, but we're fortunate that we still have the same level of not only of talent, but of dedication and passion and commitment. And I think that's because we feel like what we do is important because what the activists of New York City and beyond are doing is important, more important now than ever. So it's really amazing to be able to celebrate this night. And one of the things, just to kind of wrap up here, but it's important for us tonight, is to not only celebrate the occasion, but to try to come out of it even stronger than we are now. Because keeping this paper going is not easy. It may look automatic each month, but each paper is a small miracle. So there's several ways you can help, and one is if you want to get involved with our distribution network. We have boxes around the city. We put boxes in neighborhoods where we have people who can watch those boxes and take care of those boxes. If you want to help with that or help get the paper out in your neighborhood in other ways, definitely talk to me afterwards. If you see articles in the Indy online and you're on social media, share those articles from time to time. Let your friends know that this is something worth reading month after month. And then the last thing I want to ask for people to do that is one of the ways we're able to keep this paper going is through the support of our monthly sustainers, people who give $5, $10, $20 every month, and that steady cash flow is one of the anchors of what we're able to do. And did I just lose my sound?
Somebody stepped on the corner.
Are we good? All right. Thank you. It would be a huge help for us tonight if we could have more people step forward as monthly sustainers. $5, $10, $15 a month. It really makes a difference. And if you do become a sustainer, besides the good feelings you'll have for supporting all of this work, you're also eligible for subscription. You have the paper come to your mailbox every month, or if you're already getting the paper, get a subscription for a friend or family member. And we also have some of our last copies of an amazing poster from the 2017 Women's March, 18 by 24 glossy poster. We'd love to share that with you. And so, can I get would anybody like to join the ranks as a singers?
We were talking about change before. I want you to reach down into your pocket and find that change down there. We happen to know there's 3 hedge fund billionaires here hanging out with the radicals, pretending in your thrift store clothing. We know that you can afford more than 5 or 10 a month. We've got to have this newspaper. We've got to have this newspaper for New York City, for the world, and for each individual in this room. Let's all work together, share our resources. This is a gift economy, amen? This is the shopping we're doing right here. This is the good shopping, amen? Hallelujah. Hallelujah!
We got the laptops here to sign you up if you're ready. And I don't know what to say. Should we get just stop almost get it over with.
Listen, John, we got something special for you. Okay. This is 45 words. It's important to everyone in this room.
Yes.
We especially dedicated to you. Thank you for your work.
Thank you.
Yes.
45 words. 45.
Okay. Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion or prohibiting the free exercise thereof or abridging the freedom of speech. Freedom!